Hello and welcome back to the Yarn Holders Crafting Podcast. My name is Sasha and welcome to day 7 of 12 Cast Ons 2026. So we are into the second half of the Cast Ons. This is a make-along / challenge hosted by Angela from the Yarn and Yarns podcast here on YouTube. I shall link her channel and introductory video in the description box below, as well as the pattern and yarn I am using for this. And I am basically doing this challenge as a way to cast on a lot of stuff for me / my home. There's like 1 or 2 items for my partner mixed in with this. One specifically for him and another because it's part of a double project. Like there's like, it's going to be matching socks, but that's not today's cast on. But so I am challenging myself to cast on 12 projects. I've worked out today's project, which I'm very happy about. I also know what my 12th project's going to be. There's also going to be that socks project. I'm kind of having to find 3 more. If you've seen my introductory video, you know I have an entire list. But it's not so much that I'm struggling to find stuff to cast on. I'm struggling with needles and cables. With crochet, it's not so bad because I can easily move hooks between projects. Knitting, it's a tad more difficult, mostly because I don't have enough cables. I do have an interchangeable set. I'm rambling already. Yeah, but today's project. Today is going to be a hat, and I've already forgotten the name of it. It is the Glow Hair Frost Hat by Stephen West. I was going to cast on a different hat by Stephen West. I was going to do the Smocko Clock hat. I don't have enough yardage or meterage, not quite. I'm a bit. And the yarn I'm going to be using is this one. It is by Yarn Unique. It is already falling apart and I haven't even attempted to wind this yet. So it is this colour. I don't actually know the name of this colourway. I think it's Ammonite. It doesn't have the name on it. When I purchased this, the stall owner said she'd forgotten to write the names on some of the labels, so some of them weren't properly labelled. It just had a blank label on it. But this is her starry sock base. It has glitter. It's a lot of blues and greens. This is a fingering weight yarn and the pattern is DK, so I will be holding this double. I shall put a picture of the hat here. It's a cable and lace pattern, and I am excited. This will be my very first Stephen West pattern that I attempt. So I've known about Stephen West for a long time. Like what person deep in the knitting community hasn't heard of them? But love his patterns. But the issue with his patterns is that they look fun to make. They look amazing. They look beautiful. They're stunning. They're works of art. I just wouldn't wear them. So I love some of his shawls, like big 7-colour shawls. They look amazing. I'm never going to knit one unless I somehow get into yarn dyeing and end up with a stall somewhere. I'm probably never going to make one. But now that he seems to be venturing into other objects that are a bit more wearable, I'm going to make one. There is a couple of his jumper patterns and cardigan patterns that I would like to make eventually. I love the idea of doing a Guatemala cardigan. The only problem with that at the moment is I definitely don't have enough fingering weight scraps. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe if I go through more of this yarn this year, I might be closer to half of what I need. But yeah, so very first Stephen West pattern. A friend of mine who is also a knitter did say, once you knit one Stephen West pattern, you can't stop knitting Stephen West patterns. So we'll see if I fall down that rabbit hole. But yeah, I am now going to go and wind this, and then I shall join you again back here in a moment or two, once I have cast on, or I might record me casting on. I'm not sure yet. We shall see. But yeah, I'm gonna go and wind this. So I should get a fairly decent amount of knitting time. It's just coming up on 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, the 8th of January. I was doing a lot of editing of my year in review this morning. I had to go out, done a load of chores, done a load of stuff. So I should have a decent amount of time to work on this before I have to start making dinner. But first I've got to wind this, so yeah. But I'll catch you again in a bit. Hello. Sorry for the lamp. I have cast on project number 7. I was going to turn this back on and have a bit of a knit and natter with you after I'd cast the stitches on, but then my mum wanted to jump on a call with me for a quick chat. That quick chat lasted nearly an hour. So I have a decent amount. I probably would have got more done if it wasn't for the fact that I was playing tech support, because my mum is of elder years. She's retired. She is retired. She is approaching 70. So yeah, I was there being tech support. But I have about an inch and a half of the 2x2 rib. I will get some better footage a bit later with better lighting. We're currently in that in-between phase at like 2:45, where it's not quite bright enough for clear recording, but it's still bright enough to see, but it's not dark enough to justify putting a big light on. I've only put the lamp on so that we have a bit of extra light, but that's my mini update. I'm going to attempt to get the ribbing of this finished today. The pattern says to do 6 inches of rib. I'm going to do 5, just to be on the safe side that I don't run out of yarn. Having divided my yardage or meterage in half, because holding it double, I should have enough to do the full 6-inch rib plus the pattern, but I would rather have a slightly shorter rib than have to finish the top of the hat off with a different yarn. So yeah, I'm going to continue on with this. I am about to put an episode of the Gilded Age on. I've got about 6 minutes left of a podcast, and then I'm just going to sit and chill. As I said, I've got most of this afternoon off until I have to cook dinner. I did all of this stuff I needed to this morning, including going out for a nice walk up to Lidl, because I needed a new wash basket. They've currently got a event going on which includes a lot of like storage and laundry baskets, and my one basket's quite broken, so I had to go out and I bought one of the collapsible ones for better storage. So, but I walked there, I walked back, I did a couple of other shops at the same time. Didn't really buy anything else other than hand sanitizer and a bag of salad. I had a wander around the charity shops, but I mostly went out for a walk just to move my body a bit and get a bit of fresh air before the storm that's forecast hits. But yeah, so I shall hopefully catch you again before I cook dinner, see how far I've got, and then the outro, which I might remember to record tonight and more likely do it tomorrow in daylight so you can see the sparkly yarn. And I'll catch you in a bit. Hello. It's a few days later. I don't know how many people know this that are outside of the UK, but when I was recording this initially on Thursday, a large storm was due to roll in. Due to circumstances outside of his control, my partner ended up being very, very late leaving the office. He's a software developer and he works about an hour away from home, but he only goes into the office once a week. He ended up leaving as this storm really kicked off. It was horrific, basically. There was a lot of accidents, a lot of stuff going on, and I was really worried for him, keeping an eye on the news and stuff. So I ended up not recording my plan was to not record until after he got home. He ended up getting home really, really late. So I decided not to record the outro for this that night. However, I'm now going to record it now. So this is the Glow Hair Frost hat by Stephen West, using the Yarn Unique in this blue and green colourway with sparkle in it. I don't think I said earlier, but this is a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% lurex, which is the silver thread running through it. And my goal was to get the 5 inches of ribbing for the cuff of the hat, the rim of the hat done. And I can confirm I did complete the 5 inches of rib. It's now on holders. You use one size smaller for the rib and then you go up a size for the main body of the hats. That means I need a 4mm for the main body of this hat. That's currently being used to make my partner's Jones cardigan. So I am just going to leave these on stitch holders until I finish the Jones cardigan, which also an exciting update for that one. I only have one sleeve left to do, so hopefully I can get that finished soon. And once that's finished, I can kind of jump back into all of my 12 cast-ons. I can start working on them, getting some of those finished. So this is going to be a cable and lace hat, which probably won't take all that long to knit up. I mean, this didn't take that long. I was actually quite surprised. So that's how far I've got. And now I shall put this back away until I've finished most of my 12 cast-ons. I don't know if I've mentioned I've got, so this is the 7th. I have 5 more to do. I know what 2 of them are going to be. One of them, however, I don't know when the first lot of yarn is going to arrive for that, as it's a, it's going to be a year-long project. But yeah, I'd like to get my Jones cardigan finished and out the way so I can give it to my partner, given it was supposed to be his Christmas present. So then I can jump back into all of these. I'm actually really excited to be working on this one again. I really like the feel of the yarn. It's really thick and plump, especially given I'm holding it double to make a DK weight. And I'm just excited about it. So I'm gonna leave it there for today. This will go up on Monday. There should be another 12 cast-ons on Wednesday. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get a regular podcast episode filmed for next Friday. Or this Friday. Yeah. But I hope everyone who was around during this storm in the UK, I hope everyone's okay. I hope you were all safe. I hope everyone that you care for is safe. And I shall catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.